My name is Noel Hammac. In September of 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3A breast cancer, PR negative, ER positive, HER2 positive. I went through 6 rounds of chemo, 17 infusions for the HER2. I had, I believe, 9 surgeries through the course of it all. And my last surgery was in December of this past year. I am currently in remission. If I could thank anyone from my medical team, it would definitely have to be Dr. Haja. Even though she left me halfway through and went over to New Orleans, she was just kind and caring and gentle and made the entire process that much easier. Also, my infusion nurse, Colleen was, you didn't feel like you were a patient in a medical setting. You felt like you were family. I definitely need to thank my mom. She moved down here from South Carolina and lived with me for 4 or 5 months while I was going through treatment. And by that same extension, my dad, who was without my mom suddenly for 4 to 5 months. My friend Becky Gilbert and my friend Becky Lala, they were both huge supports to me through that. I would definitely like to thank my care team, Dr. Nancy Thomas, who worked tirelessly to make sure my results came back as quick as possible and to get me in as quickly as possible with my follow-up team. I'd like to thank my oncologist, Dr. Haja and Dr. Allen. They have been phenomenal. I hate that Dr. Haja moved across the lake, but Dr. Allen is stepping into her place. I'd also like to thank Colleen, my infusion nurse, who didn't make me feel like I was a patient, but rather just a family member. And I'd also like to thank Dr. Bonagura and Dr. Tandon for doing such an excellent job on my surgery. Their bedside manner is phenomenal. I think the thing I've benefited most through She-Rose is just learning that it's okay to be vulnerable. I've had walls built up around me for many years, and just to allow myself to connect with these women and be as vulnerable as you can be. I would definitely recommend the She-Rose program to any woman who has gone through cancer. It's building a sisterhood. It's building connections that you didn't even know you needed. It's building bonds and lifelong friends. My stylist today, my hairstylist was Caitlin, and my hair has been a mop rag ever since chemo. So for her to have it looking great was a blessing. And my makeup artist was Chris, and I'm gonna tell you, I've never looked this glam before. My advice to anyone looking to sign up for next year is just do it. Get off the chair, go log into that computer and sign up. It's free. My name is Noel Hammac, and this is my story.
Hi everybody, I'm sitting here with Noel Hammac, who is part of the She-Rose class of 2024, and you live in St. Tammany. How's everything going today?
It's going so much fun. This has been so much fun. I feel pretty and elegant, and I never feel those things.
Oh my gosh, and you should though, because you are beautiful, and you've been with Unite for so long in the background, helping at events, and you're in the medical field, right?
Correct.
So, was it the biggest shock of your life when you got diagnosed with cancer?
Oh, absolutely.
How have you been handling it?
Best you can. I mean, there's no point in saying why me, because why not me?
Yeah.
So you get up and you do what you have to do every day and you get through it.
Did it give you a different perspective? You've worked with so many ladies in our program behind the scenes and as like a care provider. Did it give you a new perspective now that you are the person diagnosed? Any insights that you didn't have before?
I think it's definitely made me more compassionate and a better nurse.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what have been the biggest takeaways that you've had going through the program? I mean, you've witnessed it before, but now going through all the paces, whether it be the candle pass or SCART or story crafting or today's makeover, you still have to walk the runway, but what has been the biggest takeaways for you?
I think for me, through the story crafting, as you'll see, my story is about being a fortress, but it's okay to be vulnerable.
Absolutely. I love that. Vulnerable and strong at the same time. You could be both. Both can coexist. Well, I can't wait to hear Noel's story. This is called A Mighty Fortress.
I am a fortress, a tall fortress that has walls built to the sky. Light and air are welcome in, as are the warmth and coolness of the seasons. There are people in my fortress, people I've allowed in, but for the most part, my fortress is designed to keep people at bay. When people try to scale the walls I've built my fortress from, they find them designed well, slippery in some areas, prickly in others. Just as they start to think they have found the pattern, it changes, because no one will ever be allowed to get close enough to tear them down. My walls are very functional. They do their job daily and go about a normal life. Some try to conquer the wall every day, and the wall looks forward to seeing them. The wall may even let them get to a higher point than they got the last time they tried, but it always pushes them back down before they get too close to breaching the fortress. I was a very well-behaved, biddable child. I felt happiest when those around me were happy. I would often sacrifice my wants and desires to make others feel good. I was a picture-perfect candidate for a narcissist to feed off of. I became a puppet. My thoughts and opinions had to be the same as his. I was belittled and made to feel stupid. If I said yes, I should have said no. If I said no, I should have said yes. Nothing I ever did was good enough, and he would have to teach me to be better, because he was the best, so he would, of course, know what it took to make me better. Many years went by, and I was metaphorically beaten into a corner. On the occasions I tried to get out of the corner, I would be swept back in. I was a shell of a person. There was only one boundary I held steady to, when one day he breached it. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, I found myself again. The fog had been lifted, and I knew exactly what I wanted for my life, and exactly what I didn't want in my life. Suddenly, it was very clear to me who he was. When you believe certain relationships are forever, you don't allow yourself to see exactly what the situation is. You have to become blind to certain behaviors to stay. I never saw the red flags, the many, many red flags until that moment. This realization was nauseating and liberating. I felt a peace I had never felt before. I had become this weak, whimpering woman, and suddenly I found a backbone. I found my voice. I learned what I am worth, and it was a lot more than he ever allowed it to be. My life is now uprooted, but it was mine. I was empowered, and I get to make decisions for myself. I learned that I am a complete and whole person. I am strong and resilient. I am adaptable when needed, but no longer a doormat. The fortress was built during this reclaiming of my life. It was built quickly and sturdily and built to last. Being a natural people pleaser, I needed these walls to prevent me from ever being in that position again. But the fortress serves me well, albeit sometimes a little too well. I used to feel guilty about having a fortress about me, but I have come to learn it's what gives me my strength to keep moving forward. Never let someone else make you change who you innately are just to avoid conflict. Being a natural people pleaser doesn't mean you have to become someone else to please that person. Hold fast to who you know you are.
Wow. You know, anybody who has ever been involved in a narcissist is relating to this. It is such a toxic, poisonous relationship. And again, until you realize it, I mean, the fact that, how long did you stay in that relationship till you found your power and said no more?
Over 6 years.
6 years. And now you are free from that, and you know what to look out for in that kind of behavior. Well, it means even more to me that you're doing this program from, having risen above the challenges of the emotional side of a cancer diagnosis, but also rising above personal struggles in your life and claiming both of those simultaneously.
Thank you.
It's really amazing. Well, thank you so much for being part of this.
It's been my pleasure.
I've really enjoyed getting to know you even further through this process.
Thank you.
Thank you.